There is growing concern again this morning about the spread of the Omicron variant and new actions to stop its spread. The federal government announced over the weekend that it's going to change some of its new travel restrictions, giving a window for Canadians stranded in South Africa to fly home. Now, in practice, things are not turning out to be so straightforward. Many travelers say they're frustrated and confused over these changes, claiming it's unclear what they need to get home and what measures await them when they arrive. Let's bring in Natalie Collada, who's sorting things out for us this morning. Natalie.
Well, Heather, there is a lot to sort out, so let's get right to it for Canadians, those and permanent residents who are trying to return to Canada from South Africa. There is a bit of a reprieve here with this temporary exemption, but they have to follow certain rules. And those include having a negative molecular test within 2 days of departure, and then leaving on flights transiting through Frankfurt on or before December 13th. Then once they arrive, there's of course quarantining. There's a hotel that has to be done as well. But those stuck in South Africa are telling us that this is all easier said than done. There's many hoops they have to jump through, and many of them are frustrated.
I don't have my permanent resident card yet, so I need either that or I need a permanent resident travel document to enter Canada. And that you can only apply for outside of Canada, and the waiting period is between 2 and 8 weeks.
It's been exhausting because it's been from 5 a.m. in the morning until, past midnight, just trying to stay on top of the news cycle. I have booked 5 different return flights to South Africa, to Canada, trying to hedge my bets against different eventualities.
So lots of confusion still there. It is also unclear, Heather, at this point, how long this temporary exemption will remain in place. So many people scrambling to get back to Canada as quickly as possible.
And what can travelers expect, Natalie, when they arrive at an airport in Canada?
Well, there is some clarity to this now. The federal government says they're working on ramping up that arrival testing for everyone, but that's going to take a little bit of time. In a pre-recorded interview with Minister Duclos, Rosemary Barton asked when specifically that testing will be up and running everywhere. This is what he said. Take a listen.
In the last 2 days, which is quite a short amount of time, they have been able to increase by 60% the testing capacity at airports, which is a remarkable achievement in so little time. Now we need to ramp up to approximately, I would say, between 15 and 20,000 people being tested on arrival from our country, except from the United States. And we'll get there. It will take a little time, obviously.
Now, he was also asked if that testing will be expanded to include those flying in from the United States. Currently, Duclos says there is no plans, there's no need for that to happen, but he won't rule it out altogether. But that doesn't necessarily mean that couldn't happen in the future, so they are coordinating those efforts. However, starting today, if you are flying to the United States, there are some new rules that you will have to know and have to take into account. The U.S. government is now requiring foreigners, including Canadians, to get COVID-19 tests within 24 hours of their departure. That's regardless of their vaccination status. Previously, that rule was 72 hours before departure. That has now been pushed to 24 hours. This is all part of the U.S. government's pandemic battle plan for the upcoming winter months. So a lot of these travel rules changing, developing, and we will, of course, continue to monitor it all for you at home and bring it to you just as soon as we know it. Heather?
Natalie Collada, thank you very much.